But before we do that, there are some formalities that we have to ensure are done in the right and proper way. So, Secretary Blinken, please, you have the floor.
Well, Secretary General, Mr. Minister, I'm delighted to report that just a few moments ago, Turkey deposited with me on behalf of the United States Turkey's ratification of the instrument of acceding to the protocol for Finland's accession to NATO. And with the receipt and submission of that protocol, I can say that the protocol is now in force.
Thank you so much. This is great news, Secretary Blinken. And with that, I can actually then hand over to you, Minister Haavisto, the formal invitation on behalf of all allies for the Republic of Finland to accede to the North Atlantic Treaty. So please.
Thank you.
And then at the same time, I can also invite you to deposit your documents of accession to the US government, here represented by Secretary Blinken.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary General. Thank you, Secretary Blinken. Now when I've got this invitation, it's my great pleasure to deposit with the Secretary of State of the United States of America, Finland's instrument of accession to the North Atlantic Treaty. Please, Secretary Blinken.
Thank you very much. Well, with receipt of this instrument of accession, we can now declare that Finland is the 31st member of the North Atlantic Treaty.
Congratulations.
And since we are now a member of NATO, we have a very important task. And the task is actually to give to you for the deposit also our ratification for Swedish membership. This is our first act as a member state. Please.
Thank you, Pekka. I'm delighted to receive this on behalf of Finland.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then we welcome Finland to the alliance, and we also appreciate that you have agreed also to invite Sweden. So this ends this moment, and then we will continue outside the building in just a moment. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
President Niinisto, dear Sauli, it is a special honor to welcome you here on this historic day, as Finland becomes the 31st member of NATO. In a few moments, we will raise the Finnish flag at the NATO headquarters for the first time. From today, 31 flags will fly together, a symbol of our unity and our solidarity. Joining NATO is good for Finland, it is good for Nordic security, and it's good for NATO as a whole. Finland brings substantial and highly capable forces, expertise on national resilience, and years of experience working side by side with NATO allies. I'm deeply proud to welcome Finland as a full-fledged member of our alliance. And I look forward to also welcoming Sweden as soon as possible. At times like this, friends and allies are more important than ever. And Finland now has the strongest friends and allies in the world. President Putin wanted to slam NATO's door shut. Today, we show the world that he failed, that aggression and intimidation do not work. Instead of less NATO, he has achieved the opposite, more NATO. And our door remains firmly open. President Niinisto, dear Sauli, thank you for your outstanding leadership and commitment, and for leading Finland into the most successful alliance in history. So welcome, it's great to have you here. Welcome to the alliance.
Thank you, it's great to be here. Mr. Secretary General, dear Jens, I want to thank you. You have been with us all the way. I remember we discussed quite deeply about NATO and Finnish membership already 2021 when you brought your council to Finland. I guess we have been talking after that by phone or by meeting almost tens of times. So it is a great day for Finland, and I want to see that it is an important day for NATO too. Security and stability are those elements which we feel very strongly. And, well, we can all think that if people can live in secured, stable circumstances, that's the basic element of happy life. And you, I guess, know that Finns are very happy already now. I would also see that this is a process from 30 to 31, and like you said, very nearby future to 32. That is that we work for Swedish membership very hard. We are doing that together with them, together with you, and that will continue. From Finnish point, also Swedish membership is most important. But once again, stability and security, I wish that we can give our share of increasing that in the defense alliance we have.
We have time for a few questions. Please.
Lauri Nurmi from Finland. Mr. President, how historic is this moment? You was born 1948. NATO was established 1949.
Well, I will have my 75 years birthday today, and NATO comes next year. But surely we have seen many, you have described many moments being historic in this process. I guess this is the day most historic to us and to our partners too.
Okay. We have Yle, the lady just behind with the microphone. Yeah.
Historic day, but without Sweden. How can Finland help Sweden to get into NATO, and how will NATO proceed with the Sweden to be allied? And then one more question to Mr. Niinisto. Do you feel relieved?
Yes, surely, from the result. But I want to tell you that the whole process, it hasn't been that tough in a way. We have had so good cooperation all the time and full trust. At least we have in Finland all the time. It has been very clear that in due time we will be members. So basically the process hasn't been that actually demanding. But surely it's a relief when we can repeat words security and stability. That is a relief for all of us. To Sweden, we have all the way been working together with Sweden. We continue helping them as much as possible. I have been discussing with President Erdogan. You have been discussing many times, and I think at least I have a very positive outlook for that.
Just to concur with President Niinisto, we are both in close contact with Ankara, with President Erdogan. I went to Ankara a few weeks ago, and that was where we agreed on the way forward, both when it comes to this fine ratification of Finland, but also that we agreed to restart the process in what we call the trilateral permanent mechanism with Finland, Sweden, and Turkey to follow up on the trilateral memorandum of understanding that was signed in Madrid. President Niinisto was there, I was there, and now it's important to follow up and to ensure that one important element, which is actually to finalize the membership process, not only for Finland but also for Sweden, is fully implemented. And my message is and has been also in my meetings in Ankara that not only Finland but also Sweden has delivered on the commitments they have made under that trilateral agreement. So nothing should hinder or be an obstacle for also the final ratification of also Sweden to become a member. This is a top priority for the alliance. This is important for me personally, and all allies agree that we should try to finalize the accession also of Sweden as soon as possible. So we will continue to work on this, and hopefully we can have Sweden in soon. Let me add one more thing, and that is that Finland and Sweden applied together. They did so in May last year. Already in June, 1 month after, all allies, also Turkey, invited Finland and Sweden to become members. And so far this has been the fastest accession process in NATO's modern history. I also stated that, of course, the most important thing is not that Finland and Sweden joins exactly at the same time. The most important thing is that they join as soon as possible. Today Finland is joining, and then we will ensure that also Sweden can join as soon as possible.
Okay, we'll go to ARD.
Question to the President. Russia always says that the enlargement of NATO towards the east or the north threatens Russia. And what do you, or are you afraid that the Finnish accession is also a pretext for Russia to see Russia surrounded, to be threatened by the West?
Actually, like you said, Russia has been repeating that, and President Putin took it up very clearly in December 21, and that was one of the reasons why the discussion in Finland rose. We don't want to be or we do not want that others say what we should do and what we can't do. I had full belief, surely, on NATO. NATO won't close its doors, but nevertheless, that was Russians, in a way, tried to create a sphere around them. And, well, we are not a sphere. And all this, the result we see today.
Lady over there.
Thank you, Ida Hallikainen from Ilta-Sanomat. This day means a big change for Finland's security. How big this change is, and what does it mean for us and for NATO?
Well, like Secretary General told, we have been on board quite a long time. We are enhanced partners with Sweden now more than 10 years. And during that time, we have all the time been developing our capabilities of working together with NATO. So the change is not that radical. It has actually taken place year after year by us getting closer. That the same fits with Sweden too, surely. In a daily life, I do not believe that people see very much changes. But like I started with, is that I'm sure that Finns feel themselves more secured, more feeling that we are living in a stable Europe, a stable world. And that is most important for us.
Today, Finland will become a full member of the alliance, and that means that from today on, Finland will participate in all NATO structures, military civilian activities, and also be at the table in all NATO meetings, and also have a vote and be part of decision-making within the alliance. But of course, most importantly, what happens from today on is that Finland will be covered by NATO's ironclad security guarantees, our Article 5, that says that an attack on one ally will be regarded as an attack on all, one for all for one. Then the President is absolutely right when he says that this has been a gradual development. Finland and Sweden have many years been very close partners. Then after we invited Finland and Sweden in June last year, they got an other status, invitee status, which is a special status that actually triggered a process where we started to integrate Finland and Sweden into our military and civilian structures. But of course, it is a different thing to be close and an invitee and to be a full member, which is the case for Finland from today on.
Thank you very much, colleagues. This wraps up this press point, but we'll see you at the flag-raising ceremony soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tu fais bien attention que les médias
demonstration. They are from yellow jersey, a little bit of French flavor.
Ministers, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the NATO Secretary General and the President of the Republic of Finland will now take their places, together with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Minister of Defense, and the Permanent Representative of Finland. Chers ministres, Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs, le Secrétaire général de l'OTAN et le Président de la Finlande vont maintenant prendre place avec le ministre des Affaires étrangères, le ministre de la Défense et le représentant permanent de la Finlande. The ceremony will begin with an address by the Secretary General. La cérémonie va débuter par des remarques du Secrétaire général.
President Niinisto, dear Sauli, ministers, ladies and gentlemen. This is an historic day. We welcome Finland as the newest member of our alliance. We will raise the Finnish flag for the first time here at the NATO headquarters. 31 flags flying together as a symbol of our unity and our solidarity. On this day, on the 4th of April 1949, the Washington Treaty was signed to create a shield against aggression and the fear of aggression. For almost 75 years, this great alliance has shielded our nations, and it continues to do so today. But war has returned to Europe, and Finland has decided to join NATO and be part of the world's most successful alliance. This has been the fastest accession process in NATO's modern history. Finland and Sweden applied for membership last May. In June, at our summit in Madrid, every ally invited them to join. And today, less than a year later, we welcome Finland as a full member of our alliance. I look forward to also welcoming Sweden into the alliance as soon as possible. Finland is safer and NATO is stronger with Finland as an ally. Your forces are substantial and highly capable. Your resilience is second to none. And for many years, troops from Finland and NATO countries have worked side by side as partners. From today, we stand together as allies. This sends a clear message that every nation has the right to choose its own path, that NATO's door remains open and no one can close it with force or coercion. NATO is a community united by our values: freedom, democracy, and the rule of law. We stand together, we protect and defend each other, all for one and one for all. President Niinisto, dear Sauli, I'm glad to be here together with you on this great day. Thank you for your outstanding leadership and your tireless work to make this day possible. I'm glad and I'm proud to be the Secretary General that welcomes Finland fully into the NATO family. Welcome to the alliance.
The President of Finland will now deliver his address. Maintenant, le Président de la Finlande va prendre la parole.
Secretary General Stoltenberg, dear Jens, Ministers, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Finland has today become the 31st member of NATO. The era of military non-alignment in our history has come to an end. A new era begins. Each country maximizes its own security. So does Finland. NATO membership strengthens our international position and room for maneuver. As a partner, we have already long actively participated in NATO activities. As an ally, Finland will contribute to NATO's collective deterrence and defense. Membership of the alliance provides security for Finland. Finland, on the other hand, provides security for the alliance. Finland, committed to the security of all NATO member states, will be a reliable ally that strengthens regional stability. Finland's membership is not targeted against anyone, nor does it change the foundations or objectives of Finland's foreign and security policy. Finland is a stable and predictable Nordic country that seeks peaceful resolution of disputes. The principles and values that are important to Finland will continue to guide our foreign policy also in the future. NATO membership does not change everything, but being an ally requires Finland to adopt new ways of thinking and some changes in legislation as well. A lot has already been done. For years, we have developed our NATO compatibility. There's still considerable work ahead to integrate Finland's defense as part of NATO's common defense. The Finnish defense forces are facing new demands and challenges to which we must respond. At the same time, it is clear that Finland's most significant contribution to NATO's collective deterrence and defense is built on the security and defense of our own territory. In this respect, the Finnish concept of comprehensive security retains its value. But we no longer do this work alone. Last year, Finland applied to join NATO together with Sweden. As I have stressed, Finland's membership is not complete without that of Sweden. Our persistent efforts for a rapid Swedish membership will continue. I look forward to seeing Sweden join us as the 32nd member at the Vilnius summit in July. To end up, I want to thank you, Mr. Secretary General, dear Jens and your people. Your help has been very important. You have been backing us in every moment of this procedure. We really give a lot of value to that and to our partners. Thank you.
Finland's flag will now be raised while the national anthem is played. It will be raised simultaneously at NATO headquarters and NATO's two strategic commands, ACO headquarters in Mons, Belgium, and ACT headquarters in Norfolk, Virginia. Nous allons maintenant procéder au lever du drapeau de la Finlande au son de l'hymne national. Les couleurs seront levées simultanément au siège de l'OTAN et aux deux commandements stratégiques de l'OTAN, l'ACO à Mons, Belgique, et l'ACT à Norfolk, Virginie. The NATO hymn will now be played. Et maintenant, l'hymne de l'OTAN. This concludes the flag-raising ceremony. I now invite the ministers to turn around for the family portrait. Ainsi se termine la cérémonie. Maintenant, j'invite les ministres à faire demi-tour pour la photo.